Hello and welcome to this week's session of Trails to Tasting, where we find awesome wild foraged plants out here on trails and we make them into awesome cocktails. So today we'll be making a black raspberry lemon balm sparkler. So we'll be using this right here. This is a black raspberry plant. So let's figure out how to identify this plant here, how to harvest it, how to use it, and what sort of animals you may hear them in the background that we'll be using. This is a native plant here in Pennsylvania, and we've got a whole bunch of it here. They love these edge spaces, so you can see here we have the meadow, it's a trail, and then the edge going into a forest. These edge spaces are called ecotones, where one ecosystem, meadow, butts up against another, forest. And raspberries really like to grow in those locations. You can identify them by their leaflets here. We've got leaflets of 3. The bottom two may have little tiny mitten-like lobes on them, but that's not always going to be the case. Here you can see on younger leaves, those lobes have not fully developed. The leaves are very rough. You can see the texture on them as compared to a smooth leaf of a grass. They also have these very dusty coated stems that make them look very white. However, you can see where birds have landed on these stalks, they have actually rubbed that glaucous coating off. So you can see it's just a dusty coating. The leaves on the underside are also very white, very glaucous. And you can see that along the midrib here, down the stem, there are tiny itty bitty thorns. You do want to be careful when we're harvesting, because those thorns can catch at you, and they are also along the stem. The black raspberries do produce fruit, and this is what we will be using for our cocktail today. Many of us think of raspberries as being this lovely pinkish red color, but for the black raspberry, we want to wait until they get this ripe and they turn that beautiful black color. So here we've got the raspberry, we've got all sorts of other canes. Here we've got more canes. Farther back, we've got even more. And when you zoom up here and you look, right there is a bird's nest, which is placed in a super wonderful location, so that bird has access to great food resources. So as you're harvesting, take a look around and see what wildlife you might be able to find. We've got roughly 150 different Pennsylvania native and east coast of the United States native animals that do rely on these berries as their food sources. Many of the birds you can probably hear around me right now are enjoying these ripened raspberries. They may include Baltimore orioles, blue jays, the rose-breasted grosbeak. You could also have black-capped chickadees and various sparrows, robins enjoying them. But it's not just birds, it's mammals as well that include bears. Black bears are in Pennsylvania, as well as raccoons, foxes, and other rodents. You may also see reptiles enjoying it, because as these canes here hit the ground and touch, they can spread. And any berries that are produced farther down here might be enjoyed by the eastern box turtle as well. Foraging ethics say that this is a native plant. Lots of wildlife species will rely on this plant, so we don't want to take a huge ton of these berries because The birds need it, the reptiles need it, the mammals need it. So today when we're foraging, we're only going to forage just a handful, and we will be muddling this into our cocktails. Right, here we have our lemon balm. You can see it's a little dirty, that's okay. But lemon balm is, as it looks, a mint. We have square stems here, oppositely arranged leaves in perpendicular fashions to the stem here, and not that you can smell it, but when rubbed and we break some of those plant cell walls and then we sniff that, oh, it smells so good, so citrusy. I love it. All right, we have our wonderful black raspberries and our lemon balm in the form of honey here. So let's get to making this cocktail. First, you're gonna take your handful of black raspberries and pop them in a little bowl to be muddled. Then we are going to take a bit of the lemon balm infused honey. And when I say a bit, think about how much this might be in white sugar, and we're using this as a white sugar substitute. So I might use, this is a little larger than a normal tablespoon, so I'll use about half of it. Whoop, whee. And pour that in as well. And then we are just gonna crush the berries up in that honey mixture. Now the cool thing about black raspberries is that they are super, super high in antioxidants for our body, which can prevent cancer. They are also really, really great at soothing digestive issues as well. The leaves can be made into a tea to help with digestive issues as well as bleeding issues, and can even be made into a poultice to help stop bleeding. So some cool wilderness first aid there. Lemon balm is a nice aromatic, meaning mosquitoes don't like it, so it's good to have in the garden. And it also is a nervine, meaning that it helps to soothe the brain from nervous tension, reduces stress. It's great. So this is a nice relaxing summer cocktail. Once you have it all mushed up, we're gonna pour it into our cup. Ooh, that's really good. Okay, lick that honey. It's good. All right, now comes the super fun part, opening your bottle of bubbly. Please be safe about it. Move that. Put the cap on the honey. Gets me every time. And pour it over. Ooh, look at that. Cheers. Oh my gosh. Wow. All right, so this is really sweet. It's great with, this is extra dry bubbly because I knew I was adding the honey. Really, really sweet. Oh, but is it pleasantly sweet? It is very vibrant and very bright. Tastes like raspberry lemonade. Probably because of the lemon balm and the raspberries. This is really, really good, everyone. Did you enjoy this week's session of Trails to Tasting? If you did, feel free to follow and subscribe here for more foraging goodness. We'll explore all throughout the season, all throughout the year, for more cool wild edibles that you can turn into fun stuff. It's not just cocktails, people. You can turn this stuff into good food.